Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be chatting about perfume. Several of you guys have asked me to do a fragrance collection video, like showing you guys all the perfumes I have on hand and like what their notes are and what I think of them. So I thought that would be kind of fun. I've never done a video like this on my channel. I've talked about fragrance a little bit here and there, usually thrown into like a favorites video or a beauty report or something like that, but I don't think I've ever done a video specifically dedicated just to fragrance. Now I know that scent is very personal, so these are just fragrances that I like. I'll tell you what the notes are and why I like them. I always recommend you go and smell something before you buy it if you can, just to make sure that it is something you'll actually like. Even better if you can get a tester to try out. It's really important sometimes to like smell something on your actual body chemistry, because how it smells in the jar may not be how it smells on you like after an hour. So that's just what I would personally recommend. But of course, if you're shopping somewhere like Sephora or Ulta, usually they're really good about their return policy anyway. So if you try something out for a while and it's absolutely horrible on you, you can usually bring it back. So before we hop into the specific perfumes and such that I have on hand, I want to take you guys over to my bedroom real quick because I want to show you how I organize all of my fragrance. So this is how I organize all of my fragrances. I keep them on this little mirrored tray that I got at TJ Maxx on my dressing table in my bedroom. I'm pretty sure you can find these in like the bath section where you find like the soap containers and whatnot, because it's kind of meant to be like a little tray you put things on in your bathroom, and I thought it would be perfect to hold all of my perfumes. I also have this little decorative mug. This is actually from Vera Bradley. If you guys remember way back in the day how popular Vera Bradley was, like circa, I don't know, like 2004. So I have this little Vera Bradley mug, and I use this to hold all of my like roller balls and travel sprays and whatnot to keep them organized. Alright, so let's get into the perfumes I have in my collection. I want to first start out by talking about what I have from Define Me fragrance, because that is the brand I definitely have the most from. So Define Me is a cruelty-free fragrance brand, and actually it's pretty difficult to find cruelty-free fragrance because a lot of brands that manufacture perfume sell in mainland China, and because the products are imported, they are mandated to be tested before they can be sold there. So just as a heads up, if you are cruelty-free or you're thinking about going cruelty-free, a lot of perfume brands are not. Even if their cosmetic counterpart, like Marc Jacobs, the beauty line, is cruelty-free, their fragrances are not. So Define Me is a cruelty-free fragrance brand, and what they do is actually formulate all their perfumes with coconut oil, which is really cool. They try to use as natural of ingredients as possible, and all of their fragrances are kind of themed around a personality. They gave them all girls' names, and each one's supposed to have its own unique vibe. My personal favorite is Sophia Isabel. So they describe Sophia Isabel as a free spirit who embraces life with confidence. The notes of this are mandarin, blackcurrant, jasmine, and sugar. And this is definitely a sweet scent, but not cloyingly sweet. You get the fruity notes. Like, I definitely feel like I get the mandarin in there and the jasmine for sure. So this for me is something I really like wearing, especially in the spring and summertime, warm weather months, because it's just kind of fresh, fruity, it's girly. This is the larger bottle that you can buy. It's 1.7 ounces. It retails for $68. But they also have travel sprays that retail for $27. I have to say, I appreciate so much when they give you an actual spray. I am not a fan of roller balls. I don't enjoy them. I like to kind of be able to spray my fragrance on my clothes a little bit, or like in the winter on my scarf, so I can smell it. It kind of lingers. With a roller ball, I feel like you really have to get it on pulse points. Sometimes I feel like I don't get enough product on, and I don't know. It's not my preferred method of putting on fragrance. So I'm really glad that they went the spray route for their travel perfumes. So in addition to my Sophia Isabel full size and the travel, I have 3 more travel sprays. Now, one of these I did buy with my own money, and the other 2 were sent to me in PR. Actually, I'm pretty sure all my Sophia Isabel stuff was also sent to me in PR. Define Me reached out last year after I kind of talked to them a little bit at a Generation Beauty event, so they sent me a really awesome package of goodies, and I've really enjoyed using them since. So the other 3 scents that I have are Peyton, Clara, and Audrey. So Clara is the newest one that I got. and this is more of a powdery floral scent. This one has notes of lily, lilac, violet hibiscus, and soft musk. It's again very sort of like girly and pretty, but definitely way more floral, where Sophia Isabel is more fruity. This one to me feels like I want to be wearing like a pretty white flowy dress. Like I envision someone wearing a floral crown. Like it just has that sort of like very free, pretty, girly kind of vibe to it. And actually, something I didn't mention yet, so Define Me designs their fragrances to also be layerable. So they recommend with each scent like which other perfumes in their line blend best with it. So conveniently enough, Clara says that the best ones to blend with are Peyton, Audrey, and Sophia Isabel, which are the other three I have. Now, Audrey is also a floral, but it's different from Clara. They describe it as fresh, beachy, and floral, which I totally get. Like especially the beachiness to it. This one has notes of peony, rose, jasmine, and sandalwood. And I feel like the sandalwood really comes through, and that's what gives it that kind of richness, that beachy sort of fresh vibe. This one I don't wear as much on its own. It's not like my absolute favorite fragrance. It's definitely something that screams summertime to me, but I do like layering that one with Sophia Isabel if I kind of want to make it a little less sweet and fruity. And then there's Peyton, which is completely different than everything else I just talked about. This is a much more musky, kind of masculine scent. This one has notes of orange blossom, mimosa, clove bud, and musk. And this is the one that I purchased, and honestly, it's probably my least favorite of the bunch. I kind of have to be in the mood to wear it, or I'll layer it with something else that kind of lightens it up a little bit. Like if you're someone that likes the smell of patchouli and that kind of more musky, earthy type of scent, you probably would get along well with this, even though this one doesn't have patchouli, and they actually do have a scent with notes of patchouli in it. So yeah, this one's just very intense. It's very strong. I feel like the clove bud and musk is like very apparent. So yeah, this is something I feel like that kind of will take a fragrance from day to night. Like maybe if I was wearing Audrey or Clara, which are sort of light, fresh, daytime floral, if you wanted to add a little bit of that musky sexiness, you could like layer this in. So why don't I finish up what's in my little cup of roller balls here while I'm at it. The next thing I have is the Replica Beachwalk fragrance. This is a little bit old, and actually when I first got this, they didn't have a travel spray available, and now they do. So if I was ever to repurchase this, definitely getting the travel spray. But this is like a full-on summertime beachy fragrance. It kind of smells a little bit like sunscreen to me. It's not a coconut scent really in the traditional sense. It doesn't smell like something you'd want to eat, but it does kind of remind me of like the salty air, being at the beach. Like it definitely has those vibes. So the notes that are in here are bergamot, pink pepper, lemon, ylang ylang, coconut milk, heliotrope, musk, cedarwood, and benzoin. No idea what that is. So yeah, there's like a lot going on in here, but somehow the combination of those things creates a scent that is 100% what I would think of as being at the beach. And that's the whole deal actually with Replica. Like all of their fragrances are meant to evoke memories. They're designed around that whole concept that our brains highly tie memory to scent. So if you smell something, it can like immediately bring you right back to a place where you last smelled it, or a memory that you associate with that scent. Anyway, so this is really nice, very summery, not something I get really any use out of during the winter or fall months, but it's something I should actually be cracking back into now. And then this I think might be discontinued. This is the Elizabeth and James Nirvana Bourbon, and I feel like I've seen the whole Nirvana line being pulled from Sephora and Ulta, so I don't know if the brand is not gonna exist anymore or what. This scent used to be my go-to like fall and winter fragrance for the longest time. This is again a little rollerball, which I cannot stand. I feel like I would have used more of it if it was a spray. But this is one of those very warm, cozy, spicy scents. It has notes of vanilla in addition to the bourbon and the spice, so it's got that kind of like musky, slightly masculine, but then also like the sweet femininity kind of all rolled into one. It's pretty super delicious. I actually liked Nirvana White and Nirvana Black as well. Those were really lovely perfumes, but I never ended up buying any of them. And then the last little travel spray that I have, I actually also have in a full-sized bottle. And this one breaks my heart so bad because this entire brand has completely been discontinued. As soon as I discovered this brand, I realized and learned that they were going out of business, and it sucks so hard because this is honestly my favorite perfume right now. So I know what I have on hand is the last bottles I will ever be able to own. So I'm talking about Commodity Gold, and Commodity is this really cool brand, or it was, where every single scent is kind of imagined around a commodity. So they had scents like book and leather and wool, and each one was super complex and really interesting, but Gold was by far my favorite. So this guy is described as having notes of molten amber, balsamic benzoin, and sweet vanilla, and it is, oh my goodness, just the most delicious, creamy, sweet, sexy kind of scent. And what I like about it is that it's not a straight up vanilla scent, even though it has vanilla as one of the notes. It's much more interesting and complex than that. It just has this dimension where it's not cloyingly sweet, but it has just a little bit of spiciness to it, and oh my god, it's just so good. It's so delicious. It's like just the kind of thing that makes you feel expensive. It makes you feel luxurious. I'm just like addicted to this stuff. And I was very lucky that I was able to get this bottle right here for essentially 60% off when the brand announced that it was going out of business, because regularly this was $105, which is way more than I usually would ever spend on perfume. So I've got my little travel spray. I have the full-size bottle. I'm going to cherish them between now and when they are finally no more. So hopefully someday I'll find something kind of similar. I mean, obviously I'm stocked up at least for a little while, but if you guys have any recommendations of really good, sexy, vanilla-y, but not too vanilla-y scents, let me know in the comments. Now this next one I'm not getting a ton of use out of right now because this is more of a fall winter scent to me. And this is the Nest Cocoa Woods perfume. My dad bought this for me for my birthday last year, and I absolutely adore this. It's not the most long wearing fragrance I've ever used. The Commodity Gold, you spray like a couple spritzes of yourself on that and it will last all day. This I feel like I'd have to reapply after like 6-7 hours if I really wanted to smell it again. But I just love the scent so much because it's so interesting and unique. It's chocolatey, but not like chocolate bar chocolatey. Like if you've ever smelled cocoa nibs before, that's what this smells like. It smells a little bit less sweet and has more of that almost bitter chocolatiness to it, but not in a weird bad way. It makes it actually just like way more wearable, I guess is where I'm going with this. And this would actually be also really nice to layer over something that also was sort of a gourmand scent if you wanted to add that little note of chocolatiness to it. So the notes that are in here are bittersweet cocoa, sequoia wood, white sandalwood, tiare blossom, and Thai ginger. And it's just, it's so nice. This again is a very cozy, nighttime, wintertime kind of fragrance to me. Like even the bottle, first of all, the bottle is beautiful. I absolutely love all Nest perfumes for the illustrations they have on them. It's stunning. But yeah, this to me definitely does not scream warm weather. It's something that I feel like is better suited to when you're wearing like a cozy, snuggly sweater. So yeah, really do enjoy this guy. I just probably won't be reaching for it anytime soon. Speaking of summer, this guy is super fun for just everyday wear, especially if you love the bum bum cream. So this is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush Body Fragrance Mist. So this is kind of just like one of those body splashes. It's not really a perfume. It smells pretty much just like the bum bum cream, maybe just like slightly different. So this is fun if I'm wearing the bum bum cream and if I just want to kind of like douse myself in a little extra fragrance goodness, I'll put this on. It doesn't last very long. It's not as intense as these other perfumes, but it is fun and it is a lot cheaper. This size only retails for $19, so definitely not going to like totally break the bank. So this next fragrance is actually sentimental to me because this is the perfume that I wore on my wedding day, and this is the Jo Malone Peony and Blush Suede perfume. I specifically went out and bought this for my wedding. I wanted to like treat myself to something special. If you guys don't know, my husband and I actually eloped. It wasn't like a secret elopement. We told people we were going to get married, but we didn't want to have a wedding, like a big party or anything. We just wanted to do something just the two of us. It was kind of short notice-ish because I wanted to quit my job. We didn't want to like wait 2 years to get married. So yeah, because I wasn't doing like the whole big shebang, I wanted to do a few like little extra special things to make the occasion special. So one of them for me was buying a perfume that I would be able to use again in the future and think about my wedding day and whatnot. So I got the smaller version because if you don't know, Jo Malone fragrances are crazy expensive. So this little guy here is $68 for 1 ounce. The bigger 3.4 ounce size is $136. So as you can see, that's why I opted for this one. But this is just a very pretty floral fragrance. It has notes of red apple, peony, and suede. Peonies are my favorite flower of life, and I think they smell beautiful. And this to me is that really nice balance of fruity and floral with a little bit of like a powderiness to it. It definitely is a nice wedding perfume or something to wear if you're going to be a guest for a wedding, because it's not like overly sexy. It's not like too fresh and clean. It's just this like nice, pretty, elegant kind of scent. So yeah, this is one that I like to travel with, again, especially if I'm going to weddings or going to special events. Anytime I'm getting kind of like dressed up, but for like a daytime occasion, I feel like this is a really nice scent to wear. Next up, I have another sort of girly, floral-ish perfume. This is Tory Burch Love Relentlessly. I actually got this in PR at like an event that I went to. So I didn't pick this out for myself, but I actually do enjoy it quite a bit. This one has notes of pink pepper, rose, orris, and sandalwood, and I feel like it again is that nice balance of fruity, spicy, and floral. I don't like anything that's like too in your face floral, like especially if it's on the clean floral side. I tend to prefer more fruity floral scents. And this whole perfume is supposed to be inspired by the love story of Tory Burch's parents. I think it was launched maybe around Valentine's Day. I might be making that up. But again, it's just a very pretty scent. It's very girly. It's not too sweet. So it's the kind of thing I feel like would be appropriate to wear to a wedding, wear to a shower, wear to something where you're like getting dressed up a little bit. You could wear it for every day, but to me it seems just like a slight bit fancier than like a t-shirt and jeans kind of fragrance. So yeah, this is again one of the ones I kind of reach for when I'm more in the mood too, especially because some of the other perfumes that I have I really love and like picked out for myself. This is kind of something I more make myself use because I don't want it to go to waste, but I don't dislike it. I think it is a pretty scent. Then I have this guy, which I actually won in a giveaway on Instagram that I entered, and it's one of the Urban Outfitters perfumes. This one is in the scent Rose and Fiume, and I don't even think they make this anymore. It's like a sugared rose kind of scent. It smells more sweet than like rose. It actually doesn't really smell like roses at all, if you ask me. But this to me is again another very spring summer type scent because it's pretty strong floral with that hint of sweetness and like kind of that creamy powdery undertone to it. This to me is definitely something that's more appropriate for every day. I could imagine myself wearing this with a t-shirt and jeans on the weekend when I'm just like hanging out with friends. It's not quite as complex as some of these other scents. It's also a lot less expensive. So yeah, this definitely had me intrigued to check out more scents from Urban Outfitters because their perfumes I think are like $18-ish, which really isn't that bad. So if you guys have any recommendations of other scents in this line, definitely let me know. And then finally, the very last fragrance that I have is something that used to be my absolute favorite scent before Commodity Gold kind of dethroned it. And this is the Kenzo World Eau de Parfum Intense. Now, what I want to make note of is this is specifically the intense version. There is another Kenzo World fragrance. It's in a light blue bottle. I have not smelled that one, or I certainly have never owned it. I think I might have smelled it and I don't like it as much as I like this guy. This scent is like the ultimate nighttime sexy fragrance. It smells so delicious. It's like a dark, sexy, fruity scent. So the notes that are in here are black plum, peony, jasmine, and vanilla. And as you guys could probably see as I'm like talking about the notes and what I like, there's a lot of overlap, like peony, jasmine, vanilla. Those are things I really like in perfumes. And the black plum, I feel like you definitely get in this. It's what gives it this like rich, dark, fruity undertone. Oh my goodness, it's so good. And this stuff is like potent. You spray on a couple of spritzes and it's very long wearing. Like it's a really nice quality perfume. It's also kind of expensive, like over $100 for a bottle. So there's that. But yeah, this is something I love wearing at nighttime, like date night, going out, you're getting dressed up, you're feeling like you want to look a little sexy, you got a smoky eye going on. This is the scent that you need for that. So yeah, those are all of the perfumes that I have in my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing them and learning a little bit more about them. If you have any questions or want to know anything else that I forgot to talk about, definitely leave a comment down below and let me know. And also let me know what some of your favorite fragrances are. I love getting new recommendations, like what kind of notes do you really enjoy? Tell me all about it in the comments down below. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.